Morning traders. It's the 20th of September, Friday. Let's see what the market has in store for us today. We'll have retail sales for pound coming out at 7 a.m. so in 20 minutes, and apart from that, nothing else unless you're trading other pairs. Heavy news week this week, a lot of consolidation going on before FOMC and a lot of trading opportunities as well. So let's just dive straight into it. Euro dollar yesterday, we closed with this strong bullish engulfing candle after rejecting the daily time frame fair value gap down here, which was tapped into during the Asian session. So by London Open yesterday, we already cleared all of this area and had started to push up. And during the day, we started to pull back. We had this breaker block right on the 240 and also on the 1 hour time frame is clearer. We've got another breaker block right there with loads of fair value gaps along the way. So price essentially pulled back into that range, tapped into that 50% of that range and found support and continued higher. I'm anticipating, or I'm predicting price to take out that buy side liquidity up there, but before that we still have this one to get through, which I do believe we could get through given how strong the order flow has been. But will it get through today or next week? Will it be starting to pull back because we had this massive wick during FOMC? Normally, right, yeah, when we see wick like this in the opposite direction, especially due to news, when the order flow is bullish, it comes into another high time frame POI, which it did, taps into that daily time fair value gap, and then starts to find momentum. And it did with a strong bullish engulfing candle, followed by another strong bullish candle. Found, left a fair value gap that price pulled back into, tapped into. So, yeah, this first one, I do anticipate price to come up and clear out, and then maybe find some resistance around this buy side liquidity. I'm already in a trade on euro dollar. I entered at the low right here yesterday, around these lows. As price tapped into that New York Open with my stops below this low, I got out a target one at 1-to-1 just there, and then I've let that trade run so far, and I do anticipate price to hit this high to start with, so around 60 pips. And going into London session, it does look like we are starting to accumulate, so maybe we will pull back into this range again one more time, find support somewhere around these fair value gaps, and then push up higher. Or maybe we'll push up higher first, find some resistance, and then push back down and just consolidate during the day. So I don't really have much prediction today, except for maybe we'll come up to this high, or maybe we won't. So I will be taking targets off, at the closest danger level possible. But yeah, let's see how that plays out. Pound dollar is interesting because we've come into a monthly time frame order block, which also happens to be right above that fair value gap, which was held multiple times in the last 5 weeks, but it looks like this week we're closing above it. Again, we also have a buy side liquidity on the daily time frame at that level, and which also happens to be below a fair value gap on the daily time frame, which are all very good signs for a good point of interest for me. And going into the day, we look like this, right? We have this buy side liquidity right there. We've got this fair value gap, both cleared out. We've also got that daily time frame order block, and this is the gap that we have on the weekly time frame as well, which provides another stronger point of interest. So I'm watching at that level, and I do anticipate some kind of a reaction of this with prices right now, especially the way prices approach that level. But yeah, like euro dollar, order flow has been bullish, pushed up, tapped into this consequent encroachment, which didn't even come into the 50% of the range, and of the weekly time frame fair value gap, and then displaced higher, leaving fair value gaps which was not filled, so a breakaway gap right there. And yeah, since then we've tapped that point of interest once, pushed down, didn't come out down and clear out the low, which I was anticipating all day yesterday, on 2 days ago, where I took like 3 losses. I was anticipating this low to be taken out. So anyway, and then we've continued up, coming to that level again, and right now, yeah, there was no trading opportunities on pound dollar because for me, point of interest was already reached, whereas euro dollar had room to go higher. So we have come up with this channel pattern. You know, we failed to close above this high, failed to close above this high. So I do anticipate some kind of a reaction if price does come back up to this high. I anticipate a short. I will be taking a short if price comes up to that high. But will it come up to that high? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. It does look like if it does come up to that high, it can pull deep into, or pull down into this Fair Value gap, below all that liquidity, and find some support, which is an area I'll be watching to go for longs. So that's that for pound dollar. Also have a channel on the 60-minute, and the way price is approaching, right, this high, pull down, and then it's consolidating, pushing up, maybe we'll consolidate, push up. That'll be a perfect area to go short for me right there at 1.3316. So let's see how that plays out. It has come into that monthly time frame order block, that key POI that I've been watching. That price rejected once, pushed up, held, is pushing up, and is now at that level again. And this is the kind of the 3 test pattern that I see quite frequently. The price can find resistance to this level and then drop. So we'll just wait and see how that plays out.